So with the homepage nearly complete, there's still some work to do in the responsive frame of things, but for now I think we're kind of at a good point to move on to the next page, which will be the About page. As I go through these pages, of course I'll go back and refine those. I'll do that in later videos, but if you're following along, you can do that first, up to you. So what I want to do is reference our design, which right here is our About page at the moment. So we've got this title, we've got a subheading, we've got a content field that feeds into 2 columns. This section, and then we'll get our Instagram feed going, and the same call to action and footer as before. So I'm going to go ahead and include those things. One thing that is different on this page is the header itself, and I think what I'll do is to make it basically easier on myself is to create header home and just import that on the home page, and then header everywhere else. So header home. Let's go to our template. So this shouldn't change anything, but now we've got that going in there, and then the actual header, we want to reference a different logo here. We're going to do dark, and that should change. There we go. Okay, so this looks terrible, but we'll fix that once we add content. So About has this for now. I think we'll go ahead and include the global CTA snippet right below here. So that should fire up. Okay, we can get started on this top portion. I'll go ahead and for now I'll just create it here, and we'll add it to its snippet later. Let's do About introduction. We'll do block again. I'm going to do this in smaller sections, so this will be a section itself, and then we'll do a section below. You know what, we could probably do it all at once, so I'm going to do that. Instead of the intro, I'll just put content, and I'll go back and declare what we're going to have here, which is going to be a title, class, About title, div, class, About subhead, and below that we'll have a row of columns. So there's smaller columns, and I'm going to want this grid to be kind of not within our grid. You see the margin, this is our grid here. So I want the margins to be pretty wide. I guess we can do that with padding, just with CSS. So we'll probably do a col me 6, col access 12. And inside that I will have, I don't know, content area. To do this dynamically, we realistically have to have 2 fields for this, so we'll have 2 columns in the actual panel for Alyssa to put content in herself. That's kind of just how it's going to have to work, I think. There's another way I'm thinking of that we could do it, but I don't really want to rely on it just for the sake of easiness. That uses specific Kirby tags in the content pane, so we could just have one content pane that does 2 columns and target them that way, but I'd rather use our grid to figure that part out. We need to just have the actual content now, so we need to have our panel. We'll go to our dashboard and the About page, and this is it right now, and I'm going to go ahead and edit those in our blueprints. So I'm going to get rid of this intro. I'm just going to change the intro to this heading. So we're going to want to keep our page title for SEO kind of stuff, but I'm going to actually still have a different heading within there. So I'll put main heading, because I don't want the slug to change, if that makes sense, or the page to change on the front end on the navigation. So text, and that's be required. Then we need a content, or let's say subhead, label, subheading, type will be text area, and then below that we have our content, right? Okay. So I'll just put like left column content. And I'll do a width on this of 1/2, so it appears similar to what it looks like on the front end. Same with the right. Okay, so these should update. Let's add that content. Okay, that's saved. So now we can grab these things and output them. Page. And I always forget what I call stuff. Heading. HTML. Boom. Not sure why that's above the header. I might need to position that. I think it's positioned absolutely, so that's what's going on. So we'll have to change that, so I'll do that in a second. I'll just keep that one as, and we'll do Kirby text. Okay, and then likewise for these two, but they'll be called left column, right column. Okay, so we don't have a grid class set up to contain this stuff yet, so I need to do that. I believe I can get away with doing it this way. Yep. Okay, so let's fix this header. I think for the home one, a specific style for it that we need to, add, but the rest will change. So what I'm going to do is to go into our header CSS. This is going to be only for the home. So I'm going to add one more class here that's like header home. We'll keep the padding though. Is that if we just add header home here, we should be good to go. Okay, there it is. Let's go to about now. Perfect. So by default, the columns we use have padding on them. I might omit those to not have it. I mean, it makes sense to have it, but I think I might go change that real quick. So we have row reverse. There it is. Do it here too. Yeah, it was only on that one, so that's funny. I think at mobile or medium, we'll just add padding. One rim. So when it's down, it's not just touching the edges. Small little detail there. So these still have it. There they go. Okay. I mean, we're going to add padding back, so I'm not worried about it, but I just kind of wanted to do that globally. Okay, and we can go to our styles now. Pages, let's add a new folder for about. And I'll add a new file in there for about. Yeah, I'll go ahead and import that here. Or actually, it's going in pages, so I'll do that there. About. Okay. Grab that class. I think in general, we've got this grid being, we won't mess with that. I was going to change the width, but I think I'll keep it as is. That heading is definitely larger. Big title, I think I named that class. Yeah. And we can do text center. Okay, and I have to target those. This is a Kirby text field, so it's going to have that P tag in there. So we can adjust the margin here to be 0 if we want. I might add some on the bottom, just a little bit. But I do want to max width this too, so 800 for now. With that in mind, we need to make these auto. 800 is definitely not the right number. I want it to wrap to 2 lines. Similar to that, yeah. The font size is bigger, I know that. It's like 1.5 rim. Yeah, there we go. It's big. Something like so. And then we can do our columns. Let's see how much we really need here. So the font size is a little too big though. I keep going back. I'm gonna try like that. Ever so little. Okay, what's missing now is that top little bit, so I'm going to add that to our subheading. I guess I want to embed that. Move this down. And this will be position relative. And before, so this needs to be on this. I was wondering what was up. So I don't need these extra bits here. So according to the code, that's centered. It kind of looks not, but I think it is. So we've got that. Cool. The videos have been running long, so I think I'm going to do section by section. So you will see the next part in the next video.